Okay. So, look, the thing is, today is the first day of training, and this is more or less going to be an introduction to what we are going to do in the course and how we are going to move forward. Okay. And what is the objective of the course and how will we be proceeding? Okay. So before I start off, anybody having any questions, you can let me know. Anybody with any questions regarding Selenium, regarding training, or regarding anything? Okay. Look, obviously, the first thing is that which many people they ask me is I'm not aware of Java. Okay, and Java is a root blocker for me. And what should I be doing? Or many people at times ask me that is Java really important for Selenium? Look, the entire code of Selenium is made on Java. Okay, and Java is the backbone. All right. So you should not be ignoring Java. All right. In the training, I will be telling you about Java as well, and we'll give you pre-recorded sessions or videos on Java, which can help you to brush up your Java skills. We will be giving you a lot of, I'll be giving you quizzes and all on Java, which will help you as well. Okay. Apart from that, look, at times I've seen in many batches, people, they are scared. Okay. They are scared of Java. All right. So you don't need to be scared of Java. Look, nothing will happen with that. It's something which takes time. All right. So you should give yourself some time to Java. I am assuming, at least I am assuming, you have the basic skills. You know what integer is. You know what if statement is. Okay. You know what for loop is. All right. So I'm assuming you have the basics of programming with you. Okay. And uh, look, the thing is, it's a process, right? If you want to learn Java, you have to learn it. I don't say to an expert level, yes, to some intermediate level in order to work with Selenium. Okay. Right, because the entire Selenium code is made on the grounds of Java. Okay, and at times, people come to us and they think that they know Java, but actually they don't know Java. So just be careful with this situation as well, because this is more dangerous that if you think you are knowing, but you're actually not knowing. What is important is the are the concepts of object-oriented programming, OOPS, because the entire Selenium works on the basis of object-oriented programming. Okay, there is one document which I have made. Hold on, just a minute. Yeah, those details I'll also share this with you. Right, just hold on. Yeah, Priyanka, you joined in. Like, was the email in your spam? The invitation?
Yeah, it was. So thank you, Ashish, for the email.
Yeah,
I
I don't
found
know
it.
why for many people the invitation is going in spam. Okay. Anyways, right. So there is this OOPS concept which you need to learn. So we'll certainly help you in that. Right. And at times people come to us with the question that I want to clear the interview, the Selenium interview, that and what should I be doing and how much time will I be taking to actually reach that level? Look, I always tell people that if you want to learn Selenium, right, it's in a matter of just say 10 days, you can learn it. You can learn the commands, you can learn everything. It's quite easy. Everything is available on the internet. Okay. But if you want to crack an interview, right, then that's the challenge. All right. You have to um, give yourself time. All right. Some people take 12 weeks, some take 24, some people also take 30 weeks. Okay, it's a process. All right. Look, this tool, Selenium as a tool, is uh, not tough. Okay, this is easy to learn. But the only problem is it has got so many components that it's quite vast. It's got a lot of things which have to be learned. All right. So it is not that you just have to learn Selenium. There are so many things I'm just going to tell you in some time. Right. So that thing makes the whole process very lengthy because if you're going to give an interview, at least you should have the knowledge at par, and you should be at par with a person who has maybe 2 years of experience in Selenium. So to reach the level of a person who has 2 years of experience, you cannot say that fine, you can do that in 1 month. All right, so it takes time. All right, but it's not something which is tough. Okay, now talking about Selenium as a tool. Okay, look, obviously, hold on, I'll tell you. This is the day by day stuff which I've made. Obviously, during the training, I might not open it because I'm used to cover this day by day. Right. So I'll also talk about this briefly, but before that, hold on. Right. So out here, obviously, the first thing is that Selenium is only the tool which will automate a browser. Okay, Selenium only works with browsers. It's not for desktop-based applications. Right. Now, if you have to, if you look at carefully when we will learn Selenium, we will see that Selenium can manage browsers. Okay. Selenium can fire commands on browsers. It's for browser automation. It can open the browser, type in the user ID, password, log in, click on the links and all. But what Selenium cannot do is that you cannot implement test cases with Selenium as a tester. Okay, what do I mean by this is that Selenium is only a tool which can control the browser. Okay, it supports no test cases and all. You cannot just batch run your tests and all. Okay, you cannot manage your data with Selenium. Sometimes you have a test case and you want to run that test case multiple times with different sets of data. Selenium is least concerned about it. Selenium cannot do that. Okay, Selenium will not generate any reports because as testers we want to generate reports and all. Okay, so these things are not possible with Selenium. For these you have to learn other tools. Like for example, if you want to implement test cases, you have to like it's very famous in the market. You have to use TestNG or JUnit is also there, but TestNG is more famous with Selenium. So out here also you need to use TestNG, cannot manage data. Now, data can be at different sources. You can place your data in Excel files when you have test cases. You can place your data in text files, property files. So you have to, manage your file reading process in Java and manage your data. It will generate no reports. Okay. Look, this is one of the major things which Selenium is not having. You have to write your own code to generate reports. And we use a third-party reporting tool which is known as extent reports in order to generate reports with Selenium when Selenium is working. So when you learn Selenium, it is not just about learning Selenium only. You have to learn Selenium commands. You have to learn test-ng, which helps us to build test cases. Now, test-ng is very different than Selenium. It's another tool. It is not made for Selenium, but we use it with Selenium. Okay. And you have to learn about file reading and all. You have to learn about extent reports. Right. Apart from that, we will also learn about Selenium Grid. Grid is something which it's very simple. It's just one day's task. Okay, it will help you to execute your tests parallelly. Okay. And Jenkins, GitHub. I will tell you what Jenkins, GitHub they are later on. Okay, and apart from these things, there are other tools like Maven for configurational efforts and all. Okay, so you have to learn all these things. Apart from this, obviously, we have to learn Java as well. Okay, so when you learn all these things, then only you can build a project or a framework. All right. So the main objective of, look, guys, this is the first class. This is the introductory class. So I'm just giving you an idea first that what we are going to do. Okay. And then we'll move forward. Like, is there anybody in this training who has not got Eclipse installed? Do you know how to install Eclipse? If there is anyone in this training who has not installed Eclipse, then let me know. You can unmute yourself and speak out, or you can, there's a chat option, you can message as well. All right.
Is there any specific version,
There
Ashish,
is
we have
no
to?
version for learners, you can do anything.
Okay, because I have installed, I mean, long back a year before, so I
Okay.
can use the same, right?
That is fine. For learning purposes, you can use any. Okay.
Hello.
So, yeah,
Hello,
anybody?
Asif. I didn't install Eclipse till now.
Okay, you have not installed, I'll tell you. Okay. So that's what I was just telling you that this is just the introductory class. So I'm just telling you how, sorry, how we are going to proceed with the training. So as far as Selenium tool is concerned, it's not just about learning Selenium tool, it's about learning a lot of things. And once we have learned these, then we have to learn about framework designing. Okay, look, framework, obviously everybody in this training all expects to learn about framework. What is a framework? If a client comes and tells you that fine, go and automate these 50 test cases. So how will you automate those 50 test cases? Which approach will you be taking? All right, because you have to design or you'll have to take care of a lot of things. So every approach is a different framework. There are different types of frameworks like you have got data driven, you have got hybrid, you have page object model and Cucumber BDD. Look, along with the training, we will give you pre-recorded sessions. In those sessions, all the types of frameworks are covered by me. Okay. And in the training, I can only take one type of framework because every framework is very vast. It takes me 11 to 12 classes to cover minimum, okay, one framework. All right. In the last class or in the last few batches, we have done Cucumber BDD because most of the people wanted Cucumber BDD. So we'll discuss it during this training that which type of framework we have to work on. All right. So there are different types of frameworks. Look, you cannot, as a beginner, I would say it is not feasible to learn all the types of frameworks instantly. No. Even when you go for an interview, even when I am taking an interview, I don't expect the other person to be knowing all the types of frameworks because for me also it took nearly 6 to 7 years to understand how each of these types of frameworks they work in detail properly, I would say. Okay, right. Just knowing the superficial thing is different, but knowing stuff from within that in few seconds you can actually relate to everything in the framework, it takes time. So generally when the job requirement it comes, they write everything. But when you go for an interview, even the interviewer knows that it's not feasible for somebody to know page object model as well as hybrid as well as cucumber. So when even if you are ready with one or two types of frameworks in your mind, you can start giving the interviews in Selenium. Okay, right. Now, anything from anyone, please let me know if you have any doubts. This is the first class, so I'm asking you. Anything from anyone. You can,
Ashish,
yeah.
for a beginner, which framework would you prefer
Look, I
to
always
learn?
ask, look, if you know, there are different things. I always prefer the data-driven framework for the beginners to start with. There are reasons for this. The first reason is that it is easy to learn, all right, and implement. Second reason is this is a very powerful framework. When a client comes to me and if he doesn't tell me that fine, I want to which type of framework I want to make, and he just tells me that fine, these are 100 test cases, automate them with Selenium. I always prefer to make data-driven framework. This is least complex framework, which is very easy to change and very easy to implement. Look, the problem which I have faced is that whenever you build a framework, you can build it as complex you want, you can build it. All right. But the problem comes with time when the application changes and you have to change the framework. Making something is easy, but changing something is very tough as far as coding is concerned. So uh, you then have to train the new people in your team and on the framework you make. So it becomes tough. Data-driven framework is easy to learn. It is easy to understand by the team members as well. It is easy to change. It is very less complex. And all the other frameworks, okay, all other frameworks are inherently data-driven themselves. Okay, when you learn Cucumber BDD or when you learn page object model or when you learn hybrid after learning after learning data-driven, you find them easy, you'll be able to digest them easily. Okay, but the problem is these days, like it's not a problem. You can't say it's a problem, but the thing is, most of the industry is going for Cucumber BDD these days. Most of the job requirements are on Cucumber BDD. Cucumber BDD is the most complex framework. Okay, it is, no, I would not say it is difficult to change. There are challenges in changing this framework and the code you write. Okay, So, but yes, like if you want to do Cucumber VDD in the training, I can take it out with you. That's not a problem. All right, fine. So,
Ashish,
Thank you, Ashish.
there are Ashish. So there are some advantages of the cucumber also, na? Like that's why market is demanding like cucumber and the VDD.
look, advantage is there. Okay, I don't say the advantage is there, but if you talk about uh, the end result, what is the end result? Look, the thing is, you're not making a website over here that there will be 100 users using the website and the website has to be very good. When a framework is built, only the technical team, it manages the framework, it changes the code of the framework. What my thinking is, that's what I'm just sharing with you. And you have to build something which is easy for the team to change, learn, implement. Okay, so data driven, this is my experience, which is just I'm sharing. Yes, there are advantages with Cucumber as well, but data driven is so easy to change, implement, and understand. Even if a new team member joins in your team, he will be able to understand data driven just like that. Okay, yes, Cucumber BDD has got some advantages which are not there in data driven. But to achieve those advantages, you end up paying a very heavy price. Okay, that is the thing. All right.
Okay, okay.
Okay. So obviously, um, it's famous in the market, so everybody started to run for it. But actually, the things are very different on the ground. When you make the framework, you will understand what I'm trying to say. When you will make data driven and when you will make Cucumber, you will easily understand what I just tried to say. Okay. So as far as learning Selenium is concerned, I just told you, you just not have to learn Selenium. There are many other tools which you have to learn. Okay. Right. So it's something like if you want to learn how to build a car, it is not just about learning how to build an engine. You have to learn how to build engine. You have to learn about braking systems, right? And you have to learn about each and every component of the car, and then only you can actually build a car. Okay, so that's car over here is Selenium. So it's not just that you have to learn Selenium commands, there are lots of other things which we have to learn. Okay, now starting off, the first thing is Java. Okay, in Java, you have to learn about OOPs. The entire Selenium is built on object-oriented programming. Okay, I'll just go to the official website of Selenium, selenium.dev. Okay, Selenium automates browsers. Okay, obviously it is a browser automation tool. Right. And if you go to the downloads section now, everybody these days, they are running towards Selenium 4.4.0. Okay, look, let me just tell you about something about the versions of Selenium. Okay, I'll just make a new document. I worked on Selenium for the first time in 2007 when it started, or 8, I guess. Selenium RC used to be there, remote control they used to call it. And Selenium RC was there till 2011. In 2011, a WebDriver 1.0 came up, Selenium WebDriver 1.0, and RC was deprecated. Okay, somewhere it was very unstable at that time. Gradually, it got stable, and in 2016, Selenium WebDriver or 17, I guess, the most stable version came up. And this was this version 3.141.59. This is the most stable version of Selenium till date. Okay. And lots of projects in the market are already implemented on this version. Okay. From version somewhere in between 2.0 to 3.141.59. After 2.0, there have been no new commands in Selenium. Only bug fixes and all have come up. And in 2020, 19, I guess, I'm not remembering, Selenium 4 came up, WebDriver 4. In WebDriver 4, no new commands came up. Although people say that fine Selenium 4 is there, no, nothing new came up. Yes, the system of grid, they changed a lot and it is still unstable. In Selenium 4, grid is not working properly. Grid is something which helps you to run your test cases parallelly across different machines. Okay, so in this training, we will be working on the latest version, which is 4.4. But in order to learn grid, we will work on the version 3.141.59. Okay, which is this version. On this version, Selenium grid is stable. Okay, so although this is the latest version, but Selenium grid is not working properly on this version. All right. If you scroll down, then of course, Selenium is available in different languages. Okay. And if you go to this API docs section for Java, this is the documentation for Selenium. It is completely object oriented in nature. So the first thing is that you have to learn OOPS, which I will be starting off with you. Okay, object oriented programming. Fine. Now, the first thing is you need to install JDK. All right. Selenium works on any version of Java after Java 8. I have Java 11 on me. Okay. You can download any version of Java. You can just download JDK. Don't download JRE. Okay, please download JDK, the entire Java development kit from the Oracle website. You'll have to log in, download and install it. Most of you might be having Eclipse with you. Okay, I'm assuming like if you don't have Eclipse, you can simply write Eclipse download. It's the editor for Java language. Many times people also use IntelliJ. You can use that, but as a beginner, Eclipse is lightweight. You can install Eclipse. You can download Eclipse. I have Eclipse with me. This is Eclipse. So this is the last batch we did. Okay, I did Cucumber project in this, right? And hold on. So I'm just giving you this, showing you this because I want to tell you the entire coding of Selenium is done in Java. You cannot just run away from Java. Okay, let me close Eclipse, right, and open it again. So after you install Eclipse, hold on, you can start it, and this is the initial launch workspace path. Okay, this is the place where you will be storing the code. Okay, and I'll make this path and click on launch. Right. If you have any questions, you can ask me. This is the first class. Definitely many people will be having questions. Right. So you close this welcome screen. Right. And you can go to file, new project, and under general, you will see a project and don't select this one. Many times people select this one. Under Java, you will see a Java project. Okay, select this thing and click on OK, and I'll call it the project as day one. Okay. So in the project, you will see a source folder. Obviously, the entire code is stored over here, and I'll just make a new class. Class means a Java file known as basics, and click on this checkbox public static void main. Right. Now, what is static and all, I will tell you. All right. Just hold on.
Ashish, sorry to interrupt.
Yeah.
So you already installed Java, right? Or else when we do install Eclipse, it will be installed by itself, latest version.
Java has to be installed separately. I already had it,
Okay,
and Eclipse has to be installed separately.
okay.
Right. So Eclipse is the editor. This is public class basics, which I created, and this is a function in it. In all the programming languages, you have a starting function. In almost all the programming languages, you have the main function where the control comes up for the first time. All right. And inside it, I'll just print learning Selenium Java. So the command to print something in Java is system.out.println. You can type syso and hit control spacebar. Okay, as a shortcut. And you can run this program from this run button on the top, and it will execute and print something. Now, before I move forward, let me just tell you some things about Eclipse, which will be helpful to you in the coming days. And at times people get stuck with Eclipse and they really don't know how to come out of the problems. So just hold on, I'll open the last batch workspace and explain you. Hold on. Some features of Eclipse. These are the projects which were made in the last batch. Every project will have a source folder in which we will keep some Java files. Okay, there are different projects over here. At times, this is known as the page project explorer window. At times, what happens is by mistake, the person closes the project explorer window and he really doesn't know how to bring it back. Okay, so you can go to Windows, Show View, and Project Explorer. It will come back. All right, by mistake, you close it. Like this was the day one for the last batch, and if I run this file, it's printing hello. This is the console. It is visible out here as the small screen. If you click on it, it will come or go. At times you close the console by mistake and it goes away. When you run the program for the next time, it will automatically come back. Or if you want to see it again, you can go to Windows, Show View, Console. In Windows Show View, you will get all the types of um, uh, panels. All right, fine. When your project is big, you have got lots of Java files in the project. Okay, for example, this is the Cucumber project we made, and these are so many Java files we made. Okay, so just a minute. If I open the first file, it will open in the editor. Okay, if I open the second file, third file, fourth file, so I will open few files over here. Fine. Now there are these two arrows over here. These two arrows are linked with editor. Always keep them clicked. Always keep this button clicked so that whichever file you open out here in this panel will be highlighted on the left side. If you look at the left side, see the highlighter is moving when I am opening the file. This is something which will help you a lot. You will come to know that where is this file. If you don't keep this clicked, then the highlighter will not move and it creates a little bit of confusion when you are working. So basically, always keep this button linked with editor clicked. All right. Thirdly, and the last thing, at times the project is huge and you really don't know where the file is lying, but you remember the file name. Okay, for example, this is a file known as Page Object Manager. Okay, but suppose this folder is closed and this is also closed, and I want to open this file and I'll have to search this file all the way through the directory structure. Okay, instead of doing this, you can hit Control Shift T of the keyboard, T as in telephone. Okay, Control Shift and T. So a search window will open up in which you can type the name of the file and the file will be displayed, and you can double click and the file will open in front of you. Okay, so if the file is not opened, you can hit Control Shift T of the keyboard and search for the file, and you can open the file from here rather than searching it in the directory structure. Okay, so these are few of the features in Eclipse which you should be using. Control Shift T, Windows, Perspective, all right, and this button link with editor. All right, now coming over to our workspace. Okay, so this is basics.java. I am assuming you know what integer is, what string in a programming language is. I'm assuming basic things, you know, if statements and for loops. Okay, if you don't know these things, in the pre-recorded sessions, there are two videos which are open for everyone. Right, I've kept them. If you go over here and course details and out here in Java in this operator basic installations. Okay, so this basic installations and operator loops array functions, you can watch them. They are open to everyone. Okay, so that this will help you understand. Fine. Now, moving ahead, um, I will tell you about configuring Selenium in the project first. Look, I am not going to teach you Java and then Selenium. No. Okay, initially I will be teaching you concepts of Java, and then I will teach you how the concepts are used in Selenium parallelly. Okay, so we are going to learn Selenium and Java parallelly, and I'll be telling you how the concepts of Java are, they are used in Selenium. Okay, so the first thing is the concept of jar file in Java. All right, look, every Java class, this is basics.java, right? If I make a new class known as print name, right? And in this, I go forward and just print my name. And if I run this, obviously this is going to print a name. So if you look at this source folder or this project, if I right click on this, and you will see lots of options. One of the options is the properties option in the end, and we are going to use this a lot. The shortcut to this is Alt Enter. Okay, if you select the project, hit Alt Enter, the properties tab, it opens up. Right, it's not opening for me somehow. Okay, I'll go here directly, and these are the different options on the left side. We will be learning about these options, especially Java build path and all. In resources, this will show you the physical location where the project is lying. If you click on this arrow, the project will open. This is the project on my hard drive. If I open this project, I will see different files, out of which only source folder is visible to me in Eclipse. In Eclipse, you will see only source folder. In source folders, you have this Java files, these Java files. If you go to this bin folder, okay, these are the class files. The class files, every Java file is converted to a class file. If I delete both these class files, and if I go to this project and run it again, this basics, right, and hold on, save it rather, insufficient memory. Hold on, I'll close IntelliJ. Just hold on. Hold on, this IntelliJ which is opened on my machine. Okay. So it is printing learning Selenium Java. And if you go to the bin folder, see basics.class file is generated. Every Java file is converted to a class file. If I hit an enter button and print name and save this file, so print name.class file will be generated. Okay, so basically this class file is something like an executable file in Java. So if you have got 100 Java files in a project, when you compile the project, these 100 Java files, they are converted into 100 class files. These class files are executable files. You can execute them on Linux, on Mac, on Windows. Java is platform independent, right? And if you have to deliver these 100 files to a client, right, we put all the files in a single file known as a jar file. It is something like if you have to send many files to some person, you zip the files, right? So in Java, the zip file is known as the jar file. When you have got many class files, you make a jar file and you send it to the client, or you deploy it on the server, whatever you want to do. Okay, right. So Selenium as a tool comes in form of jar files, or Java also comes in form of jar files. If you look at Eclipse, this is JRE system library. This is Java which is installed on your system. You will see this in your day one folder. If you expand this, you will have many jar files. Okay. And if you expand any jar file, you will see lots of class files in these jar files. These class files have been made by the people who made Java. They gave us lot of pre-built functionality. Okay, for example, if I just print over here, new date, and import the date class from java.util. What is new? What did I do by importing? Just ignore that. But if I run this program, see, it prints the current date time zone, everything. And I never had to write the logic for, getting the time zone, everything. I just used one of the internal class files of Java present in one of the jar files out here. And I printed the current date, time zone, everything. So the same stuff is in Selenium. In Selenium, all the commands, 100% of commands are inbuilt, and you have to learn how to use those commands. You have to get the jar files of Selenium. Okay, the Selenium guys, if you go to their website, selenium.dev, and under the downloads section, if you come over here, you will see the version 4.4.0. Okay, you click on this version and you save this version. So what you will get is a zip file. Right, hold on. I'll keep the zip file here and extract it. Right. So when you take this out, you see a lot of jar files. These all are the jar files. And this lib folder will also have the jar files. So there is no exe for Selenium. There are only jar files. Okay. And you have to put those jar files inside Eclipse in order to work with Selenium. Okay. So you need to right click on the project, go to the properties of the project, and you will see a Java build path option over here. In this, you will see different tabs. Go to the libraries tab. Okay. And you will have this JRE system library. Right. And click on add external jars. And go to the location of the jar file. Select all the jar files. Open. And also select the jar files which are there in the lib folder. Don't forget these jar files. And when you do this and click on apply and close, you will see reference libraries section. Reference library section will have all the jar files. So once all these jar files come in the project, your project is Selenium enabled. You can fire Selenium commands. You just have to import the Selenium jars. Okay, in your project. One thing, guys, put these jars under the module path, not the class path, under the module path. Okay, right. So JRE system library holds the jars which come with Java, and reference libraries holds the external jars which you have added apart from the jars of Java. And if I give a command over here, hold on. This command will not work for you. Hold on. Okay, I did the opposite. Okay, leave it for a time being. Okay, I'll tell you about this tomorrow. Okay, so I have few settings which have been wrongly done, right? So you put this on hold for time being. So this is the Selenium command. You can start building Selenium commands right now. All right, and uh, out here we have got Selenium configured on my machine. Okay, so now you can start building Selenium commands and running them. But for doing that, you have to learn about OOPS, object-oriented programming. So this is the next thing which I'm going to teach you. And parallelly, I'm going to talk about Selenium commands, that how with object-oriented programming, you can fire Selenium commands. Okay, look, everything in Selenium is inbuilt. How to open the browser, how to click on the browser, how to manage the browser, how to fill a form, how to manage sessions, how to manage multiple windows. There are commands for everything. It's not a rocket science. You don't have to invent anything. Only thing is that in the next 10 to 12 classes, we will be learning about the commands which are there in Selenium. Okay, and also Java. All right, by the time we are on day 6 or day 7, I will start giving you exercises as well, quizzes and all. Okay, and we'll see a lot of things to tell you and do. I cannot just tell you in the first class, right? So, right, anybody with any questions or doubts? Anything?
So Ashish, we are going to the data-driven framework, na?
Look, at least after 15 classes, we will start off with the framework. And I will take advice from everyone which type of framework they want to learn. We will go by the opinion poll maybe. Okay. And most of the times people